Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an AMX 12 ton. It's a tier 6 French light tank. It's located on the south spawn of Lakeville and it's under the command of GenFUBAR of 1AR. And you may have seen this tank performing just recently as it's got the familiar Mila colour scheme on the outside. Mila Jovovich. I mentioned at the time she's married to someone I went to university with. Would you believe it? Anyway, the AMX 12 ton. It's a tank that actually was put forward for the French light tank contest, but never actually got put into production. It was a prototype only. It became the basis for the AMX 13 in 1946. It was a 175mm armed light tank. And you can see he's trying to do a spotting job here on the enemy. Unfortunately, that Type 64 is ahead of him. And he's doing most of the spotting work at the moment. So, GenFUBAR is not actually getting much in the way of points. And you know, points mean prizes. Or at least you would know if that was the reference, if you knew where that reference came from. Of course, it does come from the fact Bob, a certain TV presenter in the UK, who most of you probably won't know, Bruce Forsyth. He's the one who actually came up with it after a quiz show that he handled. Anyway, getting back to the game at hand, it's a 4-shot autoloader. It's capable of doing 135 alpha and 144mm pen with standard ammo, and he's on the standard ammo at the moment. And with the premium rounds, he can actually do 202mm, although most of the time he probably won't need that, because a lot of the tanks he's up against, which are tier 7s, have fairly thin armor. There's, if you look out there at the moment, you can see there's a Sturmil, a T25-2, a Crusader SP, a GW Panther. All of those he can penetrate with the standard 75mm rounds. It's only when he gets to things like the Crocodile, the OI, and maybe the Govica and Cheetu that he might actually have to use premium rounds. But even then, I think he could probably get away with it. The standard reload by the book is 19.58 seconds, and unfortunately it's not showing the standard reload at the moment because of course he's not in reload mode, but he is showing the delay between each shell, which is 2.5 seconds. That's the intra-clip reload. And as you may know, as I mentioned it before, the original AMX 12 ton design was supposed to have two 6-shell drums in the rear. So it would have been a 12-shot tank capable of pumping out 12 rounds, but then of course it would have to retire from the battlefield, and then the crew would start placing new ammo into the racks in the bustle. In fact, the commander was also the gunner, so yes, he would have also had to, it was also the loader, I should say, not the gunner. So he would have had to get out and get his hands dirty. Now, we took a round there from the AMX 12 ton who's on the Lake Road. And we've had to just hop in behind this house to go unspotted. The enemy tank that was actually spotting us has gone down. That was, he was taken out. So the AMX 12 ton can't see us at the moment. And even though he's across the lake, we've only got one shell in the breach. I don't know if he knows that at the moment. I don't think he's taken it into account. Nice shot. Takes out the 5916. His reload 17.51. So not 2 seconds off the reload time. Standard 19.58. So far just the one kill, the 5916, but I think he might get that AMX 12 ton. There he is. He's hiding behind that rock there. We've got a tree in our favour. If he moves forward, he might be able to... Oh, he's a one-shot now, the AMX 12 ton. He just took a round from somebody. Instead, GenFUBAR's decided... Oh, and just at the moment he moves away... the AMX 12 ton suddenly pops out, and we could have got that kill, but he missed out on it. That's unfortunate. He would have had another one. Would have been 2, but there's still 6 enemy tanks out there, so he could still end up getting a top gun if he tried. Admittedly, he will have to take on some enemy heavy tanks, and oh, no, that's not good. The Leo has ended up in our near our cap area, and we've got no tanks left at the end of the valley, so we might actually have to return. Now, he's doing a scouting job at the moment, the Jackson, but we just lost our Crocodile as well to their GW Panther, and there's the Crusader at distance. Yep, got that one, and I think he tracked him as well. He's tracked him again, and that's a good shot, but he has to, one more shot, and he misses out on getting the kill, because that actually goes to the T-78 who's sitting behind us. But at least we did get the spotting off that. 85 hit points. Well, it's actually damage assist because we tracked the guy and the T-78 finished him off. There's the T-25 too. Now we can penetrate that guy with standard ammo, but now we're in full reload. And the enemies decided they have to cap. There's only 4 of them left. Oh, crumbs, that one. It's almost dived head first into that bank there. That slowed him down a little. If you'd done that in the real vehicle, I think that would have killed it completely. Back when it was possible to actually take or self-sustain damage, you know, where you accidentally ran over some rock or whatever, and it managed to flip you over, and you could actually take a lot of damage from yourself for doing that. That jump there possibly would have wiped him out completely. Wargaming actually did everyone a favour by taking that out, so it wasn't possible to do that. Only in the most dire circumstances can you now kill yourself if you throw yourself over a cliff. Got him! Got a hit! That Juno keeps popping in and out. I think he's giving his teammates time to actually even up the score, which is a mistake, because of course you should always try and cap out as quickly as you can, unless your teammates are trying to get the last few enemy and you're just giving the enemy an incentive to be reckless. Okay, that Junu's not going to see us because of course we've got light tank camo, so shells that damage we do to him and our standard shells are going through him. So let's get the kill after we've reloaded. Get a full reset. He's out of the cap. I think he knows full well we can see him. Well, he's gone unspotted now, so it's speculative. We aren't getting short on ammo though. Oh, that tracked him. That gives our Govica a chance. And the Govica's blocking our shot. And we're still waiting for the reload to go through. Oh, we missed out on the chance of getting another kill. But there's still 2 enemies left. That Leo has just killed our GW Panther. So we need to get some revenge on him. Yep, he tracked him. Burned his repair kit. And he's still mobile. We might be giving the Govica another chance to get another kill. He's chasing us. Now we can flush him out. There we go. Easily go through the front of his turret. Unfortunately, we did take a round from him and lost 281 hit points. That Leo must have the top gun. Okay, so 2 shells left. Still got some HE rounds though. The Leo goes down to the Govica, so we've missed out on another kill. But there's only 1 enemy left, and it happens to be the GW Panther. And remember, that guy did actually get a kill during the game. Took out our crocodile. He's been found. He's on the other side of the valley, and I think the T-78 will finish him off very quickly because there's no way he's going to run away from a T-78. And remember, that guy's got a 90mm gun, and that is the end of the game. It's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for GenFUBAR 1AR in the AMX 12-ton. In fact, it wasn't just a first class, it was a first class because he got the scrolls underneath, which means it's the first time he's had a first class in this game, in this tanker, I should say. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he ended up with 8 in that one. And his win rate was 7,480, which is super unicum standard and a bit more. In fact, he could have ended up with more medals here, but you'll see why he actually missed out in a second or so. Look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage because that went to the T-78, who actually benefited from GenFUBAR's work. That guy got 2,226 hit points, and he picked up a high Pascucci's medal and a top gun, but didn't get the high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. Second highest damage was GenFUBAR, got 2,157, and the third highest was that Leo, who actually picked up a Pascucci's medal for killing both of our Artys and 2,106 hit points of damage. So you can see which 3 players were the most deadly in that game. When it came to kills, the T-78 benefited. He got a top gun out of that game, 6 kills. 3 kills went to the T-25-2 and also to the Leo on the enemy team. And 2 kills went to the Govica on our team, the Crusader SP Juno, and the AMX 1357 on the enemy team. GenFUBAR only picked up the 1 kill, but he could have had 2 more. He could have actually taken out the enemy AMX 12-ton, if only he stayed still just for a while. And also got the Crusader SP, but he was in the middle of a reload when the T-78, who was sitting just a short distance behind him, said, "Thank you very much. I like the spotting, and I've got a 90mm gun that's armed," and he blew that Crusader away. So unfortunately, all GenFUBAR picked up was the spotting assist off that one, or damage assist as it actually turned out to be, because he tracked the Crusader, and the Crusader couldn't move because he'd already used his repair kit the first time he got tracked. When it came to base XP, it was GenFUBAR because, of course, he did spotting, whereas the T-78 didn't. He had a much longer view range and was actually spotting for that T-78. 1,203 base experience points went to GenFUBAR, 1,081 went to the T-78, and the next highest base XP turned out to be the T-25-2, and he only got 646. So you can see these two were streets ahead of everyone else in their performance during that game. And yes, so GenFUBAR could have actually ended up with much more in the way of medals. If we look at the detail report, we can see that he actually fired 30 shots, got 22 direct hits and 16 penetrations, 2,157 hit points of damage, of which 1,588 were at more than 300 meters. He did receive 2 hits and both were penetrations. The armor on this tank is not particularly strong. 50mm on the front of the hull, that's the best. 30mm on the front of the turret. Everywhere else is only 20mm or below, so any shell that hits your tank is going to go through. He also spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 1, so he might have ended up with a Confederate if he hadn't killed any tanks at all. And he got 1,004 hit points of spotting assist in that game, as well as 60 defense points as well. So he was only a fraction of, well, 10 capture points away from getting a defender medal before the Govica wiped that guy out. The junior decided to stay out of the cap after he kept getting hit. I think he realized that if he went into the cap, he was going to get shot at. So it was unfortunate he missed out on a defender medal as well as a medal for, well, getting a spotting as well, because he didn't get a spotting medal, even though he got over 1,000 spotting in that game. He picked up 89,292 credits profit from that game on a premium count, and he picked up 30,000 for completing a mission and 14,439 experience points, including 10,830 for another mission completion. I get the feeling, actually, that if it wasn't for GenFUBAR in this game, they would have lost the game, because he was the one who responded the moment he realized that the enemy was serious about capping out. So he went back to his cap to keep getting the resets. And it was the Govka eventually who ended up with the kill of that GNU. And that again, that's another kill that he could have got if only the Govka hadn't got in the way, because he parked himself right in front of the enemy tank to make sure that, well, not on purpose, I think, but he parked himself in such a way so it made it difficult for GenFUBAR to get a shell over the top of his teammate and into that enemy tank. He was only showing his hard points, not his weak spots anymore, because the hull on the GNU is a weak spot, really, if he got that 75mm at play. So anyway, he could have ended up with more medals. He only ended up with a first class, a fire for effect, and a bruiser. And where's the spotter? Where's the spotter medal? Should have had a spotter. So yeah, good game by GenFUBAR. He's getting better, and it won't be long before he's sending us games where he gets masses of kills and lots of medals. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.